story Counterparts in Dubliners, Farrington works in a law office. His boss, Mr. Elaine, reprimands him for failing to complete a copy of a contract by the deadline. Farrington resolves to spend the evening drinking. But instead of waiting until evening, he leaves the office, goes to a pub, and downs a pint of porter. Mr. Elaine wants the correspondence on a case for a client named Mrs. Delacour. Farrington finds the file and delivers it to Mr. Elaine, hoping he won't notice 2 letters are missing at the end of it. Mr. Elaine and Miss Delacour confront him about the missing letters, which Farrington denies knowing anything about. Mr. Elaine asks Farrington if he takes him for a fool. Mr. Farrington replies, "I do not think, sir, that's a fair question to put to me." Furious, Mr. Elaine demands an apology or a resignation. Farrington apologizes but knows he will be unable to get an advance on his salary for the evening's drinks, and Mr. Elaine will continue to hound him. When Farrington realizes he can sell his watch, he leaves the office and goes straight to the pawn shop. He joins his buddies for drinks at a pub where he recounts the story of standing up to Mr. Elaine to everyone's amusement. Farrington and his friends make their way through several bars during the evening, spending the watch money. At the end of the evening, Farrington and a man named Weathers have an arm wrestling contest. Farrington is embarrassed and angry when Weathers beats him twice. Farrington comes home to find the kitchen empty and the fire almost extinguished. He calls out to his wife, but one of his 5 children, Tom, comes downstairs instead and tells his father that his mother has gone to church. Farrington demands his dinner, then beats Tom with a stick for letting the fire go out, while Tom pleads that he'll pray for his father. Farrington is disrespectful to his boss, who rightly calls him out for being a terrible employee, resentful of his friends, a sore loser, and neglectful and abusive to his young child. And yet, some of Farrington's frustration at his life is understandable. He's the product of an environment that has afforded him few opportunities and has kept him in a semi-impoverished state. Like many Irish at the time of James Joyce's writing, Farrington finds escape from the drudgery of his work by drinking. Farrington feels powerless as a man, and Tom is someone Farrington can exert power over, so he does.